Members of the Texas Senate have now advanced three big special session agenda items. The Texas House still hasn't had any floor debates. This is Thursday, July 31st, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State, the Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Well, thanks for spending part of your Thursday with the Texas Minute as we end the month of July. A proposed redraw of the congressional districts in Texas would result in 5 more Republican congressional seats. We'll have more on that story coming up. A Texas man is suing a California doctor for prescribing and mailing abortion drugs to his girlfriend in Texas, resulting in the deaths of their unborn children. The federal lawsuit alleges that the woman was pressured to take the drugs by her estranged husband. Jerry Rodriguez is accusing Dr. Remy Cotto of illegally mailing abortion drugs into Texas, aiding in illegal abortions, and prescribing abortion drugs without a Texas medical license. In a move being celebrated by Texas lawmakers and land right advocates as a major victory for private property rights, the Trump administration has officially ended a Biden-era plan impacting thousands of acres in West Texas. Originally finalized under the Biden administration, the Muleshoe Land Protection Plan would have allowed the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to expand the Muleshoe Wildlife Refuge by more than 10,000%. This would have been accomplished by purchasing land or acquiring conservation easements from across a vast section of Texas and New Mexico. Republican U.S. Representative Jody Arrington of Lubbock had described the Biden plan as a, quote, outrageous land grab that threatened the property rights and livelihoods of West Texans. American Stewards for Liberty has described the Muleshoe push as part of a broader plan to bring 30% of American land and water under federal control. And so yesterday, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced the withdrawal of the plan, explaining it is consistent with the priorities of the Trump administration by, quote, ensuring responsible stewardship of taxpayer resources. It was an eventful day in the Texas Senate yesterday with 3 big items on the governor's special session agenda being passed. First up, you might recall that during the regular legislative session, members of the Senate and House voted to ban THC-infused products. Governor Greg Abbott vetoed that legislation, but then put on the agenda of the special session a call to regulate those products. The governor has since said he only wants non-intoxicating hemp to be on the market. So the Senate yesterday began their day passing essentially the same measure from the spring that will ban THC products. That was followed by passing legislation restoring the power of the Attorney General to criminally prosecute violations of the state's election laws, a power that was stripped away by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals in a controversial 2021 ruling. Lastly, the Senate passed legislation banning taxpayer-funded lobbying, continuing a years-long push to end the practice of local governments hiring lobbyists with public funds to argue against the taxpayers' interests. The measure has repeatedly passed the Senate, but been stymied in the House. The Texas Minute will be right back.
Why get your news from people who don't share your values? Get news stories from Texas Scorecard. We provide real news for real Texans. Go to TexasScorecard.com today.
Following a first round of public hearings on mid-census congressional redistricting, Republican lawmakers have proposed new district maps that could increase the number of GOP-held U.S. House seats from Texas by 5. The overall map was authored by Republican State Representative Todd Hunter of Corpus Christi. It creates seats that Donald Trump won in 2024 by at least 10 points, including 2 Hispanic majority seats in South Texas. Release of the new map comes on the heels of several often raucous public hearings hosted by special House and Senate committees formed to consider congressional redistricting during the ongoing special legislative session. If the new map is adopted, Republicans could win 30 of the state's 38 U.S. House seats in the 2026 midterm elections, up from their current 25. Texas Democrats responded to the proposed map by saying they would use, quote, every available method to oppose the redistricting plan, including fleeing the state for another quorum break. You can find details on all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was based on the original reporting of Addie Hovland, Sydney Henry, Brandon Waltons, and Aaron Anderson. The podcast is produced by Nick Shepard. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.